It is September 7th, a day before the NFL season occurs. Now, I will be predicting all the standings, early Super Bowl, matchup, and individual awards in this video. So, let's get into it. Exciting times. Now, AFC West, first division. On the bottom, last place, will be the Chiefs, 8-9. They just lost key players in Tyreek Hill and Tyrann Mathieu, who were absolutely important in their playoff run last year and Super Bowl run and all their playoff runs. These two guys were there, and now losing them and failing to replace them with talent similar to theirs will be very disheartening for the Chiefs fan this year. So 8-9 will be the prediction for them. I believe either way, quarterbacks as elite as Patrick Mahomes will have a season where they miss the playoffs and their team will need to reload this offseason. So Chiefs will be on the bottom. Very competitive division though. If they were in like the Colts division, I'm sure they make it, but they are in the toughest one in the league. Now, Broncos 9-8, failing to make the playoffs. Yes, the Broncos. They just got Russell Wilson. They have wide receivers that are exciting. Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, a running back who a lot of people think it's his breakout year. You got a solid defense, but I believe Russell Wilson just came off an injury last season. Giving him a 5-year deal that they gave him at his age was a bad move. I think the Broncos got ahead of themselves. He has yet to play a game in the Broncos uniform, and they already extended him. Bad move. They should have seen what was going to happen. And now I believe that will be a reason why Russell Wilson could, face a little bit of a slump, maybe an injury. I'm not wishing that upon him, but that's just what I think could occur. He's going to have to get used to the high altitude, playing it at home. So we'll see how it goes, but I think the Broncos will still finish over 500. And then we've got our first wild card team, the Las Vegas Raiders. I believe they added too much to not put in the playoffs. They added the guys like Chandler Jones, Davante Adams, extremely elite talents, and I believe the Raiders will finally, do something possibly in the playoffs. Can they get a playoff win since who knows how long? I believe there's an opportunity, and it's this year. Now, the winner of the division are the Chargers. Yes, the Chargers, they had the best offseason by far. They added, J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Justin Herbert. He's got elite targets. He's got Keenan Allen. He's got Mike Williams. He's got a top 5 running back in Eckler. This team is stacked. And I think this year's the year they make the playoffs. They win the division, and we'll see what they do. I don't think anybody wants to play the Chargers, to be honest. I wouldn't want to play the Chargers. This is a nasty team that's going to put up a ton of points. It all depends on the defense, though. If the defense stays healthy, they will be elite. And the offense is absolutely going to be elite. So this team could possibly even make the Super Bowl. That's how crazy this team is. But now, let's move on to the next AFC division. Now, in last place, we've got the Cleveland Browns, 3-14. Yes, they have Deshaun Watson out for, plus 10 weeks. I believe it's like 11 or 12. He comes back for the Texans game. And Jacoby Brissett will be QB1, which isn't the best thing for the Browns, in my opinion. So that will cause them to lose a ton of games. But I think, Deshaun Watson will also struggle a little bit. He'll be out of the NFL for over a year. So it's going to take time for him to come back to his usual rhythm. But the Browns team isn't bad. It's a good team. Just quarterback is a very important position. And I think they will end up 3-14 last place. After the Cleveland Browns, I have the Bengals. Yes, the Bengals, the team that just made the Super Bowl. I have them here, 9-8, third in the division, because I believe this team has an elite offense. Absolutely crazy offense. They got the likes of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. Absolutely great team. But you look at the defensive side of the ball. That's what concerns me about the Bengals here, which will be their downfall this year. They've got guys, really, that are ball hawks. You've got Von Bell, Jesse Bates. These guys get interceptions. But Jesse Bates has a problem with this contract. He just saw rival Minkah Fitzpatrick get a lucrative deal, get taken care of by the Steelers, and he's probably looking at that and being like, why haven't I been taken care of like that? Why? So does he want to go out there on a franchise tag and play absolutely hard, risk an injury? No. No, he does not want that. He wants to be taken care of and the Bengals failed to do so. So now, what do you got? Eli Apple out there? The guy who gets cooked more than my waffles? You can't have that guy as your cornerback and expect to do good. Last year was a fluke. You understand me? And I think they even caused a little bit more problems on the defensive side, and they prioritized the offense. So we'll see how that goes. If the Bengals had, a better pass rush, a top 20 defense, I'd probably say they make the playoffs from the division. But I don't believe they have that stuff. This year they'll get exposed, 9-8. Now, the next team I've got is the Baltimore Ravens, 9-8. I think they're going to get extremely close to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is on a contract year. I think he's going to want to pop off. Same thing, though. He hasn't been taken care of by the Ravens. So these are extremely important issues for the Ravens here because this is your most important guy. All or nothing on Lamar Jackson. And right now you have a hole in wide receiver where your best receiver is Rashad Bateman, excluding Mark Andrews, the tight end. So I think this year the Ravens, if they had, someone like Marquise Brown maybe, they would probably win the division in my opinion. But they traded Marquise Brown for some odd reason. And now they're stuck with, Duvernay, Bateman. We'll see how that goes. But I think 9-8, Lamar Jackson's really going to try extremely hard. And, we'll see how far they can go. But I just don't think the playoffs is anywhere where they'll be at due to the receiving problem. And I don't know how reliable J.K. Dobbins is as well. But the winner of the division, yes, the Steelers. I truly believe these problems that the other teams are having is going to be the reason why the Steelers win the division. And it's all because of the moment. It's a perfect moment. You've got the Ravens with the problem with Lamar Jackson. The most important player on the defensive side of the ball for the Bengals is having contract issues. And we took care of our guy and Minkah Fitzpatrick. They didn't. So that's going to be the difference. Obviously, Deshaun Watson. So you look at the rest of the division. Problems, and then there's us. We got Mitchell Trubisky. We'll see how he goes. He's just been announced QB1. I expected that. Mason Rudolph is back to QB3 where he belongs. So I think this team, they had some upgrades on the O-line. Doesn't mean I think this is an immensely upgraded O-line. I think it just got upgraded a little bit. Receivers, I think George Pickens is exciting. Claypool has something to prove. Deontay Johnson just got re-signed. Najee Harris, he is battling sort of an injury. We'll see how that goes. That will be extremely key. If he ends up getting injured, then I think maybe the Ravens and Bengals will fight it out. But I believe this team, only weaknesses they really have is cornerback and run defense. And that's pretty important, but I think we will improve. We've got Myles Jack now, so we'll see how it goes. But I think 11-6, Steelers win the division. You can come back to this video and tell me why I was wrong or blah, blah, blah. I want to hear it. I genuinely want to hear it. This is just my opinion. You can say it's biased or not, but I am completely unbiased here. The rest of the division has issues. But anyways, the next division, we've got last place, the Jets. I think the Jets absolutely have improved. 6-11. 6-11. That's not bad. You're getting there. You're upgrading. You got guys like Sauce Gardner who you just got. I think this team has heavily improved. Zach Wilson will be a lot better, but obviously they're not the best, in the division. They're probably the worst, right next to the Patriots. Now, 7-10 Patriots. Mac Jones, I'm not sold on him. I want to be sold on him. I really want to see Mac Jones do well. I'm not going to lie. I don't mind him, but I don't see it. Also the receivers that he's been given, Devontae Parker, wide receiver 1, KJ Bourne, come on. Like Kendrick Bourne, the only thing you got going is tight end when it comes to targets. And then you don't know who you're starting running back. I don't know. It's kind of a mess on offense. Bill Belichick always manages to win games, so we'll see how they do. But I just look at Miami and Buffalo, and I just see immensely better teams. So then we move on to the Dolphins, 12-5. I think they're drastically improved. They've got big boys now, big boys. The O-line, Armstead comes in. He's, a veteran, one of the best at his position. He's definitely going to help the rest of the O-line develop. They had a young O-line. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is pretty nasty. We'll see if Waddle's ready to go. I believe he's expected to be ready to go week 1. Running back, they got a ton of options. it all really falls to Tua. I'm not going to lie. If Tua can be middle of the park, if he just doesn't turn over the ball that much, if he can keep it under 10 interceptions, keep it under 10, and he plays the whole year and healthy, I think the Dolphins can be really good. But if he's going to get injured like he's been getting injured, if he's going to be turnovering the ball, if he can't hit the deep route at times where he's going to at least have to attempt to Tyreek Hill, and if he's throwing an interception when he's attempting those, deep balls, it's going to be a problem. But just needs to keep it under 10 picks, stay healthy. I think the Dolphins will get double-digit wins. That's really it. Now, the Bills. The Bills are the best team. They're the best team in the NFL. So I got them here at 13-4. They always drop a couple games against bad teams. So 13-4 is the prediction, but they are by far the best team. They are literally stacked. Unlucky last season, but I think this year, the Chiefs are not in there. So I don't see why not the Bills can go all the way. So then we go to the next division. I got the Texans last 5-12. I think they have, improved a little bit. They got Mills, who they seem to be, seeing if he can be the quarterback for the future. You do got like Brandon Cooks. That running back from the fourth round pick seems to be decent. But, Lovie Smith, I believe, will improve the team a little bit. But this has to be a long-term project for the Texans. They do have a ton of draft picks. So I think in 2-3 years, we'll see the Texans back on top. But as of right now, they're going to be on the bottom. Then after that, Titans 7-10. They lost a lot of guys. I'm not gonna lie. You lose your wide receiver one. You lose Julio Jones, who was really not even a part of the Titans all that much. So I think here you look at the team, and it's gonna be Derrick Henry with the worst O-line, Tannehill aging, a rookie wide receiver, Robert Woods, who just came off an injury. It's a recipe for disaster. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. 7-10, you don't make the playoffs. Now, you're probably thinking to me, well, you have two left teams that are making the playoffs. And you've got the Jags and Colts. Yes, I have, surprisingly, the Jacksonville Jaguars 10-7, the last wild card spot. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is going to be the quarterback that will take a leap second year in. I believe at least one of these guys will do it, and Trevor Lawrence will be it. 10-7, double-digit wins. They've just, spent a ton of money. They did lose a couple guys, but they did gain a lot of guys. So I believe the Jaguars will improve. So will Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people will be on the Trevor Lawrence train. And, yeah, Trevor Lawrence leads them to 10-7. Division winners will be the Colts, 12-5. Jonathan Taylor's a beast. They went from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan. So that's pretty much an upgrade in my opinion. So they will make the playoffs this year. And I've got, Bills first, Colts second. You got third will be the Chargers, Steelers. Those are the 4 division winners. I put them in order. And then it will be Dolphins, Raiders, Jaguars. That will be the order of the 7 teams that make the playoffs, a part of the AFC. Now we got the NFC South. I've got the Falcons 2-15th. This team isn't very good. They do have some good players, and Drake London. Then you look at Kyle Pitts, AJ Terrell, solid players, but this team is going to be tanking for the next few years in order to come back to the old Falcons that we used to see with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, you know what I'm saying, Devontae Freeman. But I think this team, it's going to tank. Saints 7-10. Jameis Winston can stay healthy. I think this team could make the playoffs, but I am not counting on that. I do not believe Jameis Winston will be healthy full year. It'll be a classic Saints year where they have Ian Book starting in Week 10. Then we've got Panthers. Same thing goes to them. Christian McCaffrey will be the key if he can stay healthy. They can also make the playoffs, but I don't believe he'll stay healthy, so I got them at 9-8. Baker Mayfield is a clear upgrade from Baker Mayfield, but that won't be enough. Christian McCaffrey is the most important player on the Panthers team, and he will struggle to stay healthy like always. Not wishing injury on anyone, it's just what I think. Then, Tampa Bay, they are a competitive team, contending. I got them 12-5. This is a great team. They have Tom Brady, of course, who manages to win games. That's the type of quarterback he is. You got Mike Evans, Godwin. elite targets. Brady always got elite targets, got an elite running back in Fournette, got an elite defense. That's the Tom Brady team. Then I've got the next division. I've got is the Seahawks 3-14. They've got literally the worst QB room in the league. 3-14, man. You can't go from Russell Wilson to Drew Lock. You can't. You can't expect to be competitive like that. 3-14. Then I've got the Cardinals who will make the playoffs. They added Marquise Brown, which is pretty incredible and important because they will be having DeAndre Hopkins suspended for 6 games. Once they come back, this Cardinals team will be nasty. We'll see if they can end the season better. Last season they were 8-0 and then just a nice little roller coaster going down. So this year maybe they'll have a little bit more consistency, but I think 10-7 is what they will get. Then the Niners 10-7 as well. Trey Lance, I think, will be a very good QB, but he will have some games where it will be a complete stinker. He'll learn from it. He's still first year starting, so he'll be prepared for some mistakes from him. And then I've got the defending champions, the Rams, going 12-5 as well. I believe this team is still good. They've managed to somehow still upgrade with Bobby Wagner. And you also got A-Rob. I don't know how they did it. It's like cap space doesn't work for them, but I got them 12-5 winning the division. Then over here, I've got the Giants 4-13. I believe the Giants are still bad. Saquon Barkley can't stay healthy. The same thing. This team is like a hospital middle of the season. I think the same thing will happen. 4-13. Commanders 6-11. Carson Wentz, I don't know how much of an upgrade he is. I don't think the Commanders are that good of a team. So I believe 6-11, middle of the park. Then you've got the Cowboys. I believe the Cowboys 9-8. They will miss out on the playoffs. Yeah, they're going to miss out. I just think you lose Amari Cooper. You have CeeDee Lamb as your wide receiver 1. Zeke Elliott, I believe, isn't the same Zeke as a couple years prior. Will Tony Pollard finally take over the running back position? I think that's for the best for the Cowboys. You've got the cornerback, Diggs, who can get a pick 6 or let a 75-yard touchdown go. Very odd corner, but this team can make the playoffs. I do believe so, but it's all injuries. I'm telling you, Zeke should be, if he was good like he was prior to these last 2 years, I believe this team would double-digit wins. But I just don't think it's the same Zeke anymore. And I'm going to have them, 9-8. Still 500. Then Eagles will win the division. I think they've upgraded massively. They've got A.J. Brown. They've got Devontae Smith still. Jalen Hurts, he's going to be better. So it's going to be very exciting what the Eagles can do. I'm not going to lie. This is a team to watch. But it could all go south if Jalen Hurts gets hurt. And that's the thing about mobile quarterbacks. I hope it doesn't because I kind of want to see what he can do with the Eagles. But we will see what happens. I think the Eagles are better as of today than the Cowboys and the Commanders and the Giants. Now, we've got the last division here. Bears 2-15. They suck. They suck. You look at I was looking at their roster and stuff, injuries and all that. Even the guys they signed are hurt. It's a hospital. I don't know what they expect from Justin Fields, but this is going to be a very bad year for the Bears. 2-15. Jesus. Now, Lions 7-10. I love Campbell. I love their coach. I love what he's doing there, and I think they should give him like 4 years, to be honest, because they seem to be heading on the right direction. They've got some young, exciting players. They got DeAndre Swift. Is Jared Goff the starting QB for the future? I'm not sure, but he is capable of taking a team to a Super Bowl. He's done it before. They've got, Amon St. Brown, Hawkinson. The defense has improved. This team, they're 7-10. It's an improvement step by step. They'll slowly start becoming a team that could possibly make the playoffs, and I think this head coach is doing everything right so far. He's, you got to respect the head coach that loves his team more than himself, and you see this guy breaking down and post-game after a heartbreaking loss to the Ravens, and his team is probably looking at that and saying, we've got to go out there and battle, and I think they're going to improve. The Lions 7-10. Then I've got the Packers in the wild card 11-6. They did lose Devontae Adams, which is pretty bad. And I think that's going to take some time to adapt. I see them starting off slow, maybe like 3-4, like kind of like the Chiefs last year, but then they'll start figuring it out, winning games, and they'll start, getting into the playoffs and then winning the division. Yes, I've got the Vikings 13-4. I think they'll have the best record in the NFC. They're going to be kind of pretenders in the playoffs, I believe, but they got an offensive-minded coach, and Justin Jefferson's going to go crazy. Kirk Cousins is still a top quarterback, not an elite, but he's a good quarterback. Dalvin Cook, if he can stay healthy, which I believe he will have a monster's numbers. Then take a look at the defense. It's improved, but I look at the offense and I just think this is going to be an elite offense, and I'm really excited to see what the Vikings can do. The Packers are going to take a step down, and this is the time for the Vikings to take a step up after giving, Kirk Cousins all that money. This is a year that they can have some success, so they better jump on it. They've got a head coach that seems to be the right guy. We will see. But my early Super Bowl prediction as of right now is going to be the Buffalo Bills, obviously, and I've got the 49ers. Yes, I think the 49ers are going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. Trey Lance is going to figure stuff out. That's my early prediction as of right now. It could change later on, but as of today, Bills, 49ers, and then the individual awards, MVP, Josh Allen, and then, this guy's due for an MVP. Then we've got Defensive Player of the Year, I think Joey Bosa. That guy is going to have a year, I will be telling you. He's going to have some numbers. Chargers defense is going to go crazy. The pass rush, he finally has some help with Khalil Mack, so he won't be getting, triple teamed. So he'll have some numbers. Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, George Pickens. Yup, the Steelers guy. I think he's going to be the best receiver in the draft class, and he's going to be having a year. Over 1,000 yards. You heard it here first, and it's September 7th. Then, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner. This guy's stud. No idea how the Texans selected the guy from LSU over Sauce Gardner. This guy is going to be a menace to the league. He's going to be crazy. I think he's going to have, 3 years' time, he's going to be a top 5 corner. I think he's really good. And then, that's all for today. That's all my predictions. Leave a comment down below if you think I should change anything, or if you think the Steelers take is bad, the Vikings take. There's some hot takes here. The Jaguars. I want to know what you guys think. And anyways, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. And thank you guys for watching.